everybody, John Van Dyke here for New Jersey Exposed. This is the first of several videos to come entitled Black, White, and Blue, the State of Denial. First up is black. Many of you know I've been to 7 protests so far for the Black Lives Matter protests. I spent about 25 hours of my life that I will never get back. And all I heard the whole time I was there was Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter, no justice, no peace, no justice, no peace. George Floyd, George Floyd, George Floyd. Okay, people. This is to the nice black people out there that I know who get up every day, they go to work, they live trying to live the American dream. They're not letting obstacles get in their way. They want to get along with others and they want others to get along with them. This video is not about you. So if I say anything, don't take offense because it's directed at the morons, the dunces, the stupid people. The ones that are holding us all back. Not just blacks. All of us back. So, the whole time I was at these rallies, which basically comprised of young white girls, look like little high school or young college girls, and young black girls mainly, with some black kids, guys in there too. And the ages really were 18, 19, 20, early 20s. And then you got a few scattered ages here and there. Now, I did say at one of the rallies that I was happy to see the youth out there protesting and exercising their First Amendment right. And I stand by it. I really do. I'm good. It's good to know that our youth is out there planning their future. But I would say this, be careful what you ask for. And one thing I learned as I've gone through life, and I'm 60 years old now, and I'm at that stage where I can reflect and look back, and I realized when I was in my teens and my 20s, how stupid I was. I thought I knew, but I didn't. And I learned from that. And one of the things I did with my own daughter is I told her, be careful what you do. Don't make any major decisions without checking with me or your mother first. Because the most dumbest, stupidest decisions you'll ever make are in your 20s. And I told her, no babies till you're 30. No getting married till you're 30. You go to school, you get a job. Nobody sends you a check in the mail. You earn your money. It's not other people's responsibility to take care of you. Take care of yourself. And you know what? She's 34 years old. She got married at the age of 30. She graduated college. She paid for it. She got a job. She owns a house now, I understand. Yeah. Those are values I taught her. So, you know, I'm at these rallies. I probably spent 25 hours of my life that I'll never get back. And it basically was a hate on white people fest. And I'm out there and I see these little white girls, some of the little girly girls from the nice lily white neighborhoods, hating on their culture and their race. Then I saw some angry black kids, disenchanted black kids out there for the most part. And it was all just about hating on white people, shaming white people. I should feel guilty because I'm white. It's all my fault that you got problems. You're not getting ahead of life because I'm white. Somehow I'm privileged. Well, I got a little message for some of you. Little mini Al Sharptons and little mini Homie the Clown. You remember Homie the Clown from In Living Color? He was this black clown that had a big chip on his shoulder and blamed the white man for every little problem in his life. Well, this video is directed at you. I'm not responsible for you where you are in life. Nothing I did in my 60 years on this earth did I ever do anything to try to hold a black man down or a black girl down. Never. Nobody I know that I'm aware of has done that. Nobody in my family, none of my friends, people I've worked for, I don't know anybody that got up in the morning and says, you know what, I'm going to screw a black person. I'm going to screw them over. I'm going to screw them out of a job. I'm going to get fired. I'm going to see if I can get them arrested. I don't know any of these people. Now, there have been cases through the years that there were certain people out there that, you know, maybe they had a little issue, but as far as I could tell, they never said it to a black person. They kept it to themselves. I met one guy a couple years back. I was at my friend's auto parts store in Point Pleasant, and there was a guy there, and he was doing some work, and I don't know what it was, but man, he had a real chip on his shoulder about black people, particularly Obama. And I said to my friend, I said, what's his problem? What the hell did a black person ever do to him? But there are people out there like that, but in my opinion, in my experience, they're far and few apart. And if you run across somebody like that, just don't even associate with them. I don't associate with people like that. A person like that would never be allowed in my life because he's full of hate. And I don't hate anybody. I don't hate anybody because of their race. I never look at a person and say, oh, he's a black person, I don't want nothing to do with him. That's not true at all. And I say that for all my white friends. If you're nice to me, I'm nice to you. If you're respectable, get up and do the right thing and have a sense of morality and right and wrong, you're on my team, I'm on your team. But if you're gonna get up and you're gonna point fingers at everybody else for all the problems you had in life, for your poor choices to put you where you're at, you're no friend of mine, and I don't feel sorry for you. And I'm not going to put up with you sitting there shaming me because I'm white. I'm white, and I'm proud to be white. But that doesn't mean I hate people. And that doesn't mean all white people hate you either. It really comes down to this. It's how you're raised. It's your culture that you're in. You come from a single-parent home with no father around? You think you got the best on your side to succeed in life? No, absolutely not. So all you young black men out there who don't have a father, you needed a father in your life, because you know what a father teaches you? A father teaches you how to survive. He teaches you skills. He teaches you discipline. I'm sorry, I know there's some women out there who are going to get offended, but you women out there, you don't make good parents when it comes to boys. You don't have what a boy needs. A boy needs a man around him to show the boy how to act. And when the boy gets out of line, the man puts him back in his place. And unfortunately, women, you don't do the job. I'm sorry. You're failing. And I'll throw this at you. Majority of the people in prison come from single-parent homes. The majority of those single-parent homes are headed by females. That's just the reality of life. So you want to go out there and have those babies by different fathers, or you want to have a baby with some thug that's been in and out of jail, has got nothing going for him? You're an idiot. I didn't tell you to do that. I don't know any white person out there that told you to do that. You did that on your own. Don't blame me. You go on having a baby at the age of 16, 17, 18, 19, anytime in your 20s without a man in your life, you are setting yourself up for failure. You are setting your child up for failure. That's the problem in your black community, and that's what's raising these little homie to clowns, little Al Sharptons, because they get up and they got a chip on their shoulder and their anger is misdirected. They should be directing their anger at you, the single parent, or the absentee father is not around taking care of your kid. You're sitting there and you expect the taxpayers to pay your bills. It's not my job to pay your bills. Not my job to take care of you or your kid. You can't afford a kid, don't have a kid. If you're not gonna take care of your kid, don't have a kid. So, it's like all I hear is, white people aren't doing anything for black people. We're putting them in jail. The most ludicrous thing I heard, this was at Eatontown. The guy gets there and he starts talking about, where the police came from? The police came from the slave patrol. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. I wasn't around there. I heard a rumor about that. I heard a rumor that there was a slave patrol. But I got news for you. I don't know any cop that went to the police academy and learned how to find black people. And another ludicrous one I heard was jail was created to enslave black people? What are you smoking? Last I called, I was in jail one time. I got picked up for child support. I was in that Monmouth County jail. It was just overnight. I went to court the next day. I was out. I saw white people there. Saw black people there. I think I saw some Spanish people there. You know why they were all there? Because they broke the law. I didn't break the law. I just didn't follow a court order. I owed some money, but they said I owed more than what I really owed, and what are you going to do? You got to play the game. But if your ass is in jail, your ass is in jail because you did something you weren't supposed to do. If you're out there on the street corner selling drugs to your community, not mine, to your community, selling that heroin and killing your bros and your sisters, it's on you. You did that. I didn't tell you to do that. And you got caught selling it, and you got arrested, it's on you. It's all on you. It's not me. I don't know any white person that told you to do that. We don't want you in jail. Because the more of you in jail, the more money it costs us in taxes. So why would a white person want you in jail? That's absurd. We all want you to work. We want you to take care of your kids. This crap that we're holding you back? What a bunch of crap. You know who put Obama in office? It wasn't the black community. It was the white community. We're still the majority race in this country, and white people are the one who put Obama in office. And last I checked, he was half black and half white, and he looked black to me. And by the way, how did that work out for you? How did Obama take care of you? 8 years of him. And by the way, I voted for him. I wanted him the first 4 years. The second 4, I wasn't so sure about what the hell he was there. Let's keep him. But by the end of the 8 years, I'd had enough of Obama. I saw what a crooked salesman he is. So I'll ask you, you angry blacks out there, how did Obama work out for you? Are you better off now? Because I'll tell you what, Obama went into office a middle-class man, and he walked out of that office 8 years later very well-to-do. There's a saying, he came to do good and he did well for himself. All right, so I'm going to start throwing some statistics at you. Because it's an old saying I heard. Figures don't lie, liars figure. The figures don't lie, only liars figure. So this was posted in the Wall Street Journal back around June 2nd, I believe it was, of 2020. It was written by Heather McDonald, and it's called The Myth of Police Racism. Racism. And I'm going to read you a few things, some statistics that you may not like to hear, because I know some of you homie the clowns and little Al Sharpens out there don't want to hear the truth. You've got some kind of twisted mind virus in there that's just turning your brain stupid. So I'm actually reading this on EncounterBooks.com, because if you go to Wall Street Journal, you may only be able to view that article once or twice, and then it locks you out once you sign up. So one of the things I'm reading right here, it says, in 2018, African Americans made up 53% of the homicide offenders in the U.S., and they committed about 60% of the robberies. But they're only 13% of the population. Now, I don't know any white people that told 53 that black kids or black guys or black women, whatever, to go out and kill people, making up 50, a little more than half of the murders in this country. I didn't tell any black guy or black person or black woman, a kid or whatever, to go out and kill people. Not once. I don't know any of my wife friends that did that. I don't know any of my family said it. Nobody I work for ever said anything like that. 60% of the robberies. How about that? 13% of the population, but you're committing 60% of the robberies. Did I tell you to do that? There's something in my white skin, and when you look at it, it says, hey, go rob the banks. Oh, by the way, those robberies, were they armed? Was that why the police shot you? I'm going to read some more. Some more in your face. In 2019, all police officers fatally shot 1,004 people, most of whom were armed or otherwise dangerous. Now get ready. I know it's tough to handle all this. African Americans were about a quarter of those killed by cops last year. 235. A ratio that has remained stable since 2015. That share of black victims is less than what the black crime rate would predict, since police shootings are a function of how often officers encountered armed and violent suspects. In 2018, the latest year for which such data has been published, African Americans, blah, 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 made up to 50%, blah, blah. A police officer, now get this one, I know this is really tough to swallow. A police officer is 18.5 times more likely to be killed by a black male than an armed black male is to be killed by a police officer. Oh, you don't want to hear that, do you, right? Man, you just trying to hold me back, right, man? You don't want to hear that, do you? I didn't write this. Wall Street Journal did. Why don't you go fact check them? Let me go down here. I think there's some more here. Oh, here we go. In 2018, there were 7,407 black homicide victims. I'll repeat that for you, little homie the clown and little Al Sharpton. 7,407 black homicide victims. That's black people that were killed, murdered. Assuming a comparable number of victims last year, those let me go back to being as I missed part of it here. The police fatally shot 9 unarmed blacks and 19 unarmed whites in 2019, according to the Washington Post database, down from 38 and 32, respectively, in 2015. The Post defines unarmed broadly to include cases as a suspect in Newark, New Jersey, who had a loaded handgun in his car during a police chase. In 2018, there were 7,407 black homicide victims, assuming a comparable number of victims last year. Those 9 unarmed black victims of police shootings represent 1.1% of all African Americans killed in 2019. By contrast, a police officer is 18.5 times more likely to be killed by a black male than an unarmed black male is to be killed by a police officer. Now, let me tell you some more things that you may not want to hear, homie the clown and little Al Sharptons. Why don't you go check the numbers in Chicago? Let's see, the weekend just came. We just finished the weekend. Why don't you go and find out how many black people were murdered in Chicago by black people? How many do you think it was? And how many were killed by cops? I got news for you, little homie the clown, a little Al Sharptons. The black community is killing black people a hell of a lot more than the police are or white people are. So get off your high horse, cut the bullshit. Let me get some more notes over here. The study shows no structural bias in criminal justice system with regards to arrest, prosecutor, or sentencing. Crime and suspect behavior determine police action. I don't know any police, maybe there are out there, but all the police that I know and I've interacted, I'm sure you've seen some of the videos already that I interact, and a lot of these cops know me, I interact with them. I don't see it. I was talking about kids being raised in single-parent homes. The problem in the black community is the family unit. There is no family unit. Over 74% of black children are raised in a single-parent home. Absentee father. That's your problem. You got young girls out there having babies with no way to take care of them. They're setting themselves up for failure. And then you got the black man, the black youth that's going out and getting the kid pregnant. And now he can't pay child support and he skips because he can't pay the child support. That's on you, brother. Not me. You know what? I had a kid. I paid child support for 20-some years. I was around my kid. I took care of my kid. Spent time with my kid up to the point where they don't want to spend time with me anymore. But she always knew that there was 2 parents to answer to. Actually 3 at some one point because her mother remarried. So there was 3 adults in her life that she had to answer to if she got out of line. And my daughter didn't get out of line because I taught her the right values. She got in trouble one time in high school. She got in a fight with some girl trying to honor trying to defend her friend. And I had to tell my daughter, look, you know, we ain't got no money for you for college, so don't go screwing up. You need loans and grants, and getting in trouble school is not the way to get it. But you have the right people around, and it doesn't take money to raise a kid right. It takes your time, and you set an example. And right now, you got a lot of people out there setting a real bad example for their kids, and here we are. They're disenchanted. They've got this mind virus in their head, spewed on by this liberal, progressive machine out there that's trying to pit black against white in hopes of hijacking the presidential elections. All right, I'm going to finish it up now with what Black Lives Matters is, because many of you don't know what it is, and I got a feeling these little bobbleheads, these little miniature Homie the Clowns and Al Sharptons out there have no clue what the Black Lives Matter is, because quite frankly, I wasn't sure about it either. So let me bring up my snapshot. Oops. In a nutshell, Black Lives Matter is a progressive, liberal, anti-white political organization, in my opinion. So this is something I screenshotted off their page. You just look it up, blacklivesmatter.com, I think it is, or .org. It says, now I want you to listen carefully to what I say. This is white people and black people watching this. We disrupt the American prescribed nuclear family structure requirement by supporting each other as extended families and villages that collectively care for one another, especially our children, to the degree that mothers, parents, and children are comfortable. Well, you hear nothing in there that says father. So they want somebody else's parent to raise your kid. It's not working. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't. You already got that already. They're out on the streets being raised by somebody else, by thugs. That's who's raising these kids, thugs. We foster a queer affirming network. When we gather, we do so with the intention of freeing ourselves from the tight grip of heteronormative thinking, or rather the belief that all in the world are heterosexual unless he or she or they disclose otherwise. Well, again, this is more progressive liberal nonsense. Now, I happen to know that a lot of black folks out there are very religious, Baptists. I don't think that goes over well with the church, does it? Just like having babies out of wedlock, that doesn't go over well with the church, does it? I don't remember the church, any church, teaching you that. Now, I'm not saying I'm anti-gay. I don't care. You do what you want, okay? Just keep it to yourself. And stop running around waving your flag. We cultivate an intergenerational and communal network free from ageism. We believe that all people, regardless of age, show up with the capacity to lead and learn. We embody and practice justice, liberation, and peace in our engagement with one another. Well, that's a bunch of crap. Because I saw what they were preaching at these protests. Black Lives Matter. Well, and this, I'm going to be all over the place, okay? I was in Eatontown. They had a black attorney up there. I could tell she come from a good family. Just the way her manner is, the way she talks. She got up there and she claimed how she went to school, went to college, became a lawyer. She married a captain in the military. And she says, I find it insulting when I say Black Lives Matter and somebody says all lives matter. And she tried to equate it with somebody saying, you know, I love you, honey. And that person says, well, I love everybody, honey. Is it the same? When you say Black Lives Matter, that means you're separating yourself from everybody else. And last I checked, I'm not a religious man, but I think Jesus sees us as all as human beings, as his son. You know, it's the saying, the sun shines on us all equally. So when you say Black Lives Matter, you are separating yourself from everybody else, as if you're different or special or require special treatment. So I'm with the saying, all lives matter. That's absolutely right. All lives matter. Your life is no more special than the white guy's life, the brown person's life, the purple, whatever color you may be. You're no more special under this sun than anybody else. The sun shines on us all equally, regardless of our color. So I don't go for this Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter. No, all lives matter, and your life is no more special than my life or anybody else's life. So this black attorney, she's up there, you know, doing some of the white bashing stuff, and I'm thinking to myself, I wonder what kind of cases she handles. What's she charge? How much free work is she doing for the black community? She was on a town council or something, I don't know. But I would love to go up and ask and say, how many pro bono cases for black people are you doing? How many have you done? What are you doing to help the black community besides spew hatred and agitate? I'm going to end with this. You are in life. You are the sum total of your thoughts. Where you are in life is where your brain took you. Where the brain goes, where the mind goes, the body follows. You want to sit home and you want to count all your negatives. You want to sit home and blame everybody else for your problems, for your error in your thinking, because that's why you are where you are. It has to do with the error of your thinking. It's not my responsibility or any other person's responsibility to help you. We all have ups and downs in life. Every once in a while an opportunity comes along and you jump on it and it takes you to the next level. But you have to get up in the morning and you have to do what it takes to get through the day. Now maybe where you live is a little more difficult than where I'm living. Don't blame me. Blame your parents. If you grew up in a ghetto, you're on welfare, and you were poor and had to wear crappy clothes and get food stamps, it's not my fault. That's your parents' fault. So you need to displace your anger and direct it towards them. The white man didn't do that to you. So start doing things in your life that's positive, that takes you closer to where you want to go in life. You know, sometimes you gotta mop the floor, you gotta clean the toilet, you gotta put up with a little shit. I've done it. I've cleaned toilets. I've mopped floors. I swept floors. My first job was doing that, cleaning. And then I wanted to become an auto mechanic, and I got a job changing tires. They taught me how to change the tires. That got me around cars. Then I started working on my own car. You know why I had to work on my own car? Because I couldn't afford to pay anybody to fix it, so I had to do it myself. And then you learn a little bit. And then I had a little money, and I paid for 2 courses out at the college. Taught me a little more about auto mechanics. Enough so that I could get a job. I took those little steps. And that's what you have to do in life. You can't go around blaming me because I'm white, or blaming any person because they're white. You are in life where you took yourself. Simple as that. You want to go out on the corner excuse me, and sell drugs to your community? Drugs that kill? I'm not even talking about pot. I'm talking about heroin. You want to go out and sell heroin and kill your neighborhood? That's on you. You want to you want to destroy your neighborhood? It's not the white man's fault. I'm not rich. I don't go out and sell drugs. It's not even an option. I don't live in a dirty neighborhood. If there's trash outside my house, it gets picked up. I don't need to be rich to do that. I don't go out and have babies I couldn't afford. I had 1 baby in my life, 1 kid. I didn't have any more after that because you know what? I didn't want to go through the crap. I didn't want to take the chance if things go wrong again. But I took care of my responsibilities. And you need to take care of your responsibilities. So, you're going to have a baby. I'm talking to the young black men out there. You want to go have a baby? You think it's a little fun? You're going to get there and do the wild thing? And then she gets pregnant? She used you? Because nobody pounded in her brain that she needs to go to school and get an education and learn a trade or something? So she's going to take the biological escape route out? And you got suckered? And all of a sudden you find out the judge tells you got to give her $100 a week? And you're only making $200 a week? It's on you, brother. I didn't do it. Didn't do it. It's not my fault. Not white people's fault. And by the way, you know, when I had to go out for child support, I went in front of a black hearing officer. And she was female. And this white privilege thing, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what it is. I don't know any white privilege. Nothing's been privileged to me. I grew up, when I was young, I was short, skinny, had red hair, and crooked teeth. You think the doors are opening for me? It's been proven that good-looking people succeed much better in life than those who are not so good-looking. I wasn't tall, dark, and handsome. So I had to work a little bit harder. I had to work on my personality. And when I was young, I got a paper route. I was 13, I got a paper route delivered. I made $10 a week. When I turned 16, I was told, you're not getting an allowance anymore. You're gonna go get a job. When I turned 16, in June of 1976, I applied for a job at Marshall's in Shrewsbury, first store in New Jersey, Marshall's. And I got hired. Made minimum wage. I made 5 cents above minimum wage, $2.35. I mopped floors, I swept floors, I cleaned toilets, I unloaded trucks, took out trash, hung clothes, I worked the register, I did a lot of things there. But I only got it because I put 1 foot in front of the other and somebody got on my ass to do it. And if you don't have somebody get on your ass, then you have to get on your own ass. So, but this Black Lives Matter, fuck you. You wanna put a wedge between the races? It's very sad. Because I got news for you, Black Lives Matter. If push comes to shove and I have to choose, I will choose my race. I don't want it ever to come to that. I don't want anything in our country to come down to something like that. And I got news, another more news for you, Black Lives Matter. You're a minority within your own community. The good black people out there, they're not behind you. They've worked too hard to get where they're at, and they didn't let obstacles and myths and mind viruses get in their way. They saw what they want, and they went and they got it, and they taught their kids to do the same thing too. So you're a minority. Your message, you're just being used. You're being used by a political machine that's out there trying to hijack an election. This is Sean Van Dyke for New Jersey Exposed.